Boxing is a dangerous game. It's not just two people punching each other. It's chairs at full speed. It's violence with discipline. It's fear, pain, adrenaline, and calm, all happening at once. I never saw myself here, trading punches, taking hits, standing face to face with someone who has trained just as hard to knock me out. I never imagined that one day this would be part of my life. There was something about boxing that hooked me. It was the fight and the mental training. The part of you that gets tested when there is nowhere to run. The part that has to decide whether to quit or keep swinging. This is modern training. This is modern fitness. This is my journey of pain, fear, growth, and love. A journey I never planned to take, but now I cannot live without it. This is the fight within. In 2023, that's when it all started. I walked into a gym, took out my first proper gym membership. It wasn't a fancy gym, it was the type you would normally find in this kind of place. And I just wanted to lift weights and build muscle and get stronger, just to look that bad. That was the plan. I had no dreams of becoming a fighter, and that's exactly what I did. I lifted heavy, pushed myself. But then I saw it, a punching bag hanging there like it was calling me. I'd never boxed before, I've never even wrapped my hands, but I was curious about this. I slipped in some worn-out gloves and started throwing punches, hitting the bag. I didn't know what I was doing, but I liked it really, really well. It made me feel alive. I'd always believed that I was strong, and I never skipped the opportunity to show it. There was this rhythm to it. There was this power. I didn't understand it yet, but I wanted to. I hit that bag every time I went to that gym, over and over, even if it made no sense to anyone else at that time. A few weeks later, that was when I met him. My coach Sadiq, incredible man, full of experience and a great teacher. He didn't say much at first, he just watched. He came that day to train one of his students at that time. So I watched from a distance and I noticed that their movement was kind of different. The sessions were serious, they weren't playing around. He was actually training this guy and correcting him to be better. And I wanted that. So I walked up to him and I told him that I wanted to learn too. He just told me to come to his house when I was ready. It wasn't too far from the gym, so that was it. He didn't mention anything about money, no promises, no ego. He just told me to show up. And I knew at that point that he was the guy that was going to put me through to become better at boxing. So I did. I went to his house and we started training. We started from scratch. How to stand, how to breathe, how to jab, And I thought I was tough, to be honest. I thought lifting weights made me strong, but boxing made me feel like a beginner again. And I loved it. We trained for several weeks turned into months. It wasn't really that intense. There were some days I missed training and I normally try to cover it up. And then came the day I had to spar. I told myself that I was ready, but deep down inside I wasn't. Just one punch. That was all it took. I got stopped. I didn't believe that someone could go down by just taking one single hit. And that day was the day for my realization. It was a really clean shot. I went down hard. That knockout messed me up. Not just physically, emotionally as well. I felt like everything I had trained for was pointless. I'll never forget the sound, the silence right after, the pain that came the next day, the embarrassment. Everything I thought I knew about toughness disappeared in that moment. I had an injury in my eye. It wasn't life-changing anyways, but it scared me. I wasn't wearing proper protective gear. I didn't know better, so I felt stupid for even trying to prove a point to anybody. So I stopped boxing entirely. Just like that, I packed up all my stuffs, didn't go back to my coach's house. I told myself it wasn't worth it. There was no good justification for getting into a fight and coming back with injuries. For no just good reason. I went back to what was safe, lifting weights. Building muscle was easy. No one was trying to punch me in the face at the gym. I could zone out, throw on headphones and push weights. But it didn't feel the same. I wasn't excited anymore. I would go to the gym and feel like a part of me stayed behind with the gloves. To be honest, I missed the fight. I missed the fear. I missed the constant challenge. I missed the pain. But more than anything, I missed the progress that I always felt each day that I boxed and trained with my coach. In boxing, every day mattered. Every jab, every slip, every bead of sweat had purpose. But with weight, I was just going through the motions. Still, I stayed away because the fear was still there. That feeling of getting dropped. And I started to question myself. If I was even built for this, was I even good enough? And for a while, I let those questions win. It took me 4 months to come back. 4 long months of pretending that I didn't miss boxing. But one day I couldn't pretend anymore. I walked back into the gym, this time a different gym with a boxing bag. No announcement, no reunion with anybody. This time I didn't come to lift weights. I came to punch the bag. I missed it so much. I had bought my own gear when I was traveling, my own gloves, my own wraps. I was done borrowing, I was done doing it halfway. I wanted to really devote my time to doing this and get better. I started practicing my comeback on my own. Even inside the house, I practiced with my friend who knew a little about boxing and could hold the pad. I trained on my own at first, walking on the bag because I knew my defense was bad. I had to tell some of my friends back at the gym to attack me, basically. And I walked on my defense and my guard. I started walking on my footwork, I watched the videos, I studied movements and solo practiced. But I knew deep down that I needed help and I wasn't ever going to get better if I was doing it on my own. So I went back to my coach He didn't ask questions. He just told me to resume training. I guess he saw my drive and motivation this time because I had gotten the equipment that I needed to progress. And I felt he was ready to help me get to that point. So we started training again. I had a goal. I wanted to move better. I was heavy. I was too heavy to be fast. I started running every day. Long distance, hills, treadmills, sprints. My legs burned, but I needed to cut weight. I needed to train my lungs for intensity to last longer in training and sparring sessions. I started jumping ropes before every gym session. I cleaned up my diet, I trained smarter, I focused more on recovery. I wasn't trying to look like a fighter anymore. I was trying to become one. Every session with my coach felt different now. I was listening more, pushing more, but failing forward. The training became intense. Sometimes it felt like I should run away, I should just disappear and never come back. But I knew what was required, so I stayed. He was shaping me into becoming a weapon of my own. I knew what was needed now, and I was so back. This time, I wasn't going anywhere. Then came sparring again. It was still brutal. I was getting beat, but this time, I wasn't giving up. I took punches, I got tired, I made mistakes, but I kept going. I wasn't afraid of being hit anymore. I was learning, and this type of learning hurt so much. There were days I questioned everything, days where I felt like I wasn't improving, days where getting hit felt personal. I got hit time after time after time after time after time. But then there were moments, little wins. I started becoming more confident. I started controlling the sparring rounds, slipping a punch, landing a clean jab, holding my ground. I started training twice as hard, alone at the gym. I started shadow boxing at home, footwork drills. I watched film, I drilled my combos alone. I was tired of being that guy who gets hit. I wanted to be the one hitting back. I knew that if I ever wanted to stand in the ring and compete, I had to take the punishment now, in private, in silence, so that later I could rise in public. It was really painful, but I endured, and I felt it every single day. The sparring sessions became a whole lot intense, and with my coach, he never gets enough. That was the interesting part of all of this. I became faster, I became stronger, I became smarter, I became more resilient. Every single day was a new hurdle to cross over. Every single day was a new limitation to surpass. He trained me to fight like my life depends on it, because it does. And as Rocky Balboa said, it isn't about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, because that is how winning is done. And that was exactly what my coach was teaching me. So I kept going. I kept fighting for my life. I kept moving forward even when my legs didn't want to. This sport is extremely difficult, but I still love it. That's what boxing does to you. The fun is pain, and the pain is fun. This is hell, and I love being here.
Stop. Stop. Stand up.
Yeah, I can feel the shift. I'm no longer where I used to be. I've come a long way up to this point. From the bag in the corner to this. It wasn't easy. It was extremely difficult. I know I'm not even close to where I want to be yet in this journey. But this is progress. This definitely is progress. And now, I'm looking forward to my first amateur fight. I know I'm not ready yet. I know it's going to take a lot. But I believe in myself that I can train and get to that level of readiness to be able to compete. It's one of the things in my bucket list that I must do to crown this pain and struggle off. Very scary, I know, because it's a dangerous game. Boxing is a dangerous game. But that is what being a man is all about. And I must challenge myself to get to that point. To my coach, words are not enough. You're a really good man. Thank you for pushing me and believing in me. All you have taught me has not only made me stronger, but has shaped me into the man that I am today. The hard work is starting to pay off. I can see it in my sparring sessions now. I'm landing clean shots. I'm reading my opponent more. I'm defending better. I'm not afraid to get hit anymore because I know how to answer back. I used to just survive rounds. Now I'm starting to win them. All because of you, coach. I'm getting closer to that level you always wanted me to get to. I can feel it. And that feeling, that drive, is something I'll never take for granted again. And I know there's still so much more to come. But no matter how far I go, one thing is for sure, I'll never stop showing up. Because this fight is for life.
Please give boxing a try. I promise you, you would not regret. Just give it one try, even if it's not boxing. Martial art, kickboxing, Muay Thai, find something to do. Go hit something, go punch something, guys. And I promise you, you won't regret.